Okay, you're pulling guard, right? You're looking to wrestle up. There's three main ways your opponent's going to look to react off of you pulling guard, right? Option one, he's going to be in a staggered stance. Option two, he'll have feet together. Or option three, he pulls to his knees, being on his knees, attacking the open guard. So option two, right? My opponent is standing with his knees fairly together. You see this like in my most recent match, Yuri Samoa's, when I pull guard, and when most opponents pull guard on Yuri, he stops for a second and his feet are together. He's like almost waiting, trying to figure out what to do, and then before he engages, he starts moving. So let's say I pull guard and my opponent has his feet together, more together. Yeah, exactly. This is like, for whatever reason, it isn't a very athletic stance, but it's quite common to see top guys play from this position. The advantage of this position is it makes it hard to go double kuchi because there's not a lot of space for me to get in here. The disadvantage is it's not very athletic because his feet are close together. So in positions like this, oftentimes I like to use hand on head position, like collar type position, and an ankle pick, right? I'll take my hand behind my opponent's heel and I'll push the head over the foot, over the knee, to place him down on the mat. So you pull guard immediately, and you're pretty close to your opponent. I'll take a collar tie. I'll take my secondary hand to the heel, and I'll push the head and look to heist up right away. From here, I have the goal of getting them supine, getting the shoulders flat to the mat. I can look to pass and start working from this position. So a very simple ankle pick that works pretty well. So I pull guard, boom, and my opponent is, while he's trying to figure out what to do, he meets me with a square stance, and his feet are pretty close together. I'll take a hand on the head, the collar tie, and as I pull the head down, I'll cup the back of the heel. He'll start pulling his head up, and as he does so, it makes it easier to push the head over the knee. So mechanically, all I really need for an ankle pick to work is the head to get over his knee, and as I push the head over the knee, in order to stop this, he needs to backstep, right? So you backstep this leg in order to stop it. I take my hand and I place the meat of my hand on the mat, cupping the heel. Where people go wrong is they go to the knee, which you need more momentum. Like this would be a standing position if I go knee pick. Or they're a bit high, like around the calf, and they try to push. When you're around the calf, they still have enough strength here to backstep as you go for it. So it's not as beneficial as it is putting the meat of your palm on the mat and cupping the heel, right? So we're in a position where I pull guard and he's fairly square. I'll go collar tie with the goal of pulling it down, and then as he pulls up, I'm transitioning to the heel and pushing the head over the heel, and immediately I'll start working some passing position. But nevertheless, I've gained the top position. So once again, we pull guard in front of a square opponent. I'm close enough that I can work collar ties and I can reach the foot. I go lead hand collar tie, and I pull the head down. As he reactively pulls the head up, I'll go ankle pick, place the meat of my palm on the mat, cupping the heel, and I'll use this tight collar tie to push his head over. If I'm extended, it's not going to work nearly as well as being tight. I block, I push, boom, ankle pick, and start putting him down towards the mat. So a couple reps here. Collar tie, he pulls up, ankle pick, boom, get him down right away and heist up. Let's go this way. Opponent's in a square position. Collar tie left hand, hand to the mat on the heel, ankle pick and heist up. Also, notice how my feet are in the proper position for heisting. When I'm pulling the head down, going ankle pick, I have heel to butt and left leg lead. That way it's pretty easy for me to build up right away and continue my offensive cycle. So I pull guard, opponent's fairly square. Heavy collar tie, he pulls up, hand to the ankle, pick it, and boom, looking to pass right away. So when you pull guard against an opponent that has a square stance, their feet are pretty close together, we have multiple options. One of the better options is to attack the ankle pick, having the goal of pushing the head over the knee while attacking the ankle pick, right? Taking your hand to the mat so he can't backstep, pushing the head over the knee, forcing it off balance. Now, another very common reaction. Let's say I go for the ankle pick, but he remains standing. I have downward pressure on the head. I go for the ankle pick, and as he builds height, he gives a little back step, and he lightens his foot, right? So I'll take two hands to this foot, and I'll pick it up, and I'll pull it down and swing it down and around, right? Two things will happen. This will either put him right down towards the mat, or it'll off-balance him enough so you can heist up and start wrestling up. So option one is a standard collar tie ankle pick, right? Where we see it in wrestling all the time from a standing position. You'll pull in the opponent's leg, you'll pull the collar, and boom, we have an ankle pick from standing. Now, because it's jiu-jitsu, you can ankle pick from a seated guard. So where I pull down guard, I go collar tie, he has a square stance, so I can ankle pick and heist up right away. Now, let's say you fail the ankle pick to where you didn't give enough push off of the head, he's able to build up and remain standing. So this usually happens when you don't get enough drive off of your lead hand to where he just backsteps and builds up and he makes his front leg light. I'll take two hands to the ankle and I'll swing this down and pull it up. And this typically off balances him. It gives you enough time to heist up and start working a passing position. In wrestling, you see this very similar movement to where opponents get single leg, and you see this happen in the Russian wrestling rooms, right? It's where you have two hands on ankle, you pull a leg down and bring it up. I'm going to do it so you can fall down and up, right? So this is a very similar variation of this, but instead of standing, we're from the guard pull, from the butt. So we pull guard, boom. I'm ready for offensive. I see my opponent's legs are pretty close together, so it's a great opportunity to start becoming offensive with ankle picks. Collar tie, pulling the head down. As he builds head height, I go for ankle pick. He backsteps to react for the ankle pick. I take two hands to ankle. I rotate this down and up in order to off balance him, and I build hip height immediately. So I go from a guard pulling position to ankle pick. As he defends the ankle pick, use my secondary attack. Opponent has square stance. Collar tie, pull the head down, he builds height, he reacts from the ankle pick. As he lightens his foot, I pick it up off the ground, I swing it down and up, and I'm able to put my opponent down towards the mat. From here, I can get right to J-point passing, camping, or whatever kind of sequence I want. But nevertheless, you go from a defensive position to hips on top of his, and we're working our offensive sequence. So yet again, opponent's in front of me, collar tie, pull the head down. As he builds head height, I go for the ankle pick. That fails because he backsteps. I take 2-on-1 towards his unweighted foot. I rotate it down and up, and then I'm able to put him right down towards the mat where I can start working my passing series. Once again, come this way. Good. Collar tie, ankle pick, he builds height and backsteps. Rotate down and up, boom, and I build hip height. So again, option one, I go for collar tie, pull the head down, work the ankle pick, put him down, heist up. Option two, he defends the ankle pick, boom, by backstepping, rotate it down and up, and I'm starting to heist up, getting my hips on top of this. So you can work these two variations together, right? I always have the idea of having another attack in the chamber. I said this earlier, but the longest scrambles in the room or in jiu-jitsu are like 45 to 60 seconds. So you have to have enough attacks to be offensive for 60 seconds. So this is one of those movements where we're going to chain multiple attacks together. We go from using a standard ankle pick from the butt. So as he reacts properly, we go for a swooping motion, putting his hips down towards the mat and gaining hip height. Hip height wins the scramble, and that's what I'm helping you guys do. Win the scramble with a wrestle.